Through this video, we are going to see about how to connect a SQLite database into our applications along with insert, update, delete data operations. Let me see guys how to do this with an example. So this is my main window. So I'm going to create my design for SQLite database connection. So initially so default layout is a constant layout. I'm changing my layout is a linear layout, and my linear layout I'm changing orientation is vertical, and just I'm delete. Wrap content and health of the wrap content. So this is match parent. So this is the wrap content, and orientation is vertical, and so inside the second layout, so I'm creating edit text box. So this purpose is getting information from user guys. That's what I'm creating edit text. So this is match with parent width, and height is wrap content, and so ID is ID. So this edit text for getting ID information from user, and this hint. So inside the hint I'm giving enter the ID. Okay, fine, and so it is 1. In the same way, I'm creating another one edit text also. So this edit text for name. So the ID is name. I'm giving the name. So we created 2 edit text for purpose, and so another one thing is, so I want to 3 buttons. So one for add information, and again view information, update, delete. So totally 4 buttons are required. So that's what I'm creating another one linear layout for buttons. So previous linear layouts for only the edit text, second linear layouts for buttons. Okay. Wrap content and width match with parent, and orientation design I'm including horizontal because I want to arrange my button horizontal wise on next. That's what. So inside the second linear I'm creating button. Wrap content, and ID is for insert, and text is insert. So I want the second button also. So giving information is. So this one is view. And third button. So this button for update. And fourth button for delete. Okay guys, we successfully made our design. So next I'm going to write a SQL database connection. So initially we need get the information. We have to initiate our user information. Just go to your Java folder, and the Java package is there now. Just click on the Java package folder and right click it, new. So create the new Kotlin file and give the name for user. Fine guys, so initially we created one Kotlin file for this file only for the initiate our user information. So there is a two field is there, one is ID and name. I'm going to initiate here with those names, those informations. So just create class, ask the same name of your Kotlin file name user. So inside the class, just define the names, define the field names, ID. So this is integer data type, and initially 0. And the second variable for second field name, and this usually is a string data type. And initially I'm initiating this variable is as a empty. Okay guys, we created a class for the both variables. Now I'm going to create the constructor for that. So already you know well about constructor. So wherever the constructor for that. So integer and second variable attribute is name. So this type is string. So here this means is here the current file. This ID equal to ID and current file name equal to name. You have to handle this data for your database. That's what the handler function also will be required. So that's what I am creating another one Kotlin file. So this file for handler. So this file only used for handling the user information, right? So initially I am declaring a variable for database name. DB name equal to like my DB. So of the data, so we have to create a handler function, so a handler class for that. So class, same name of your Kotlin file. Handler. So inside the handler, I am pausing the variables, the parameters, where context. So along with the helper, the context helper also. So helper handler class also. So to write that, SQL open helper. So for the helper handler, I'm just pausing the information. First thing is context and your database name, DB name, and so third variable null variable, and fourth one is a version. So version is a first version. Fine guys, we create the class, and inside the class there is a two methods required. So first one is create, another one is upgrade. So initially this is a very new project. There is no database. In case you are already your project is having database now, so you have to create upgrade only. So initially there doesn't appear any database. That's what I'm create. Method is required here. So one is a create, on create, one is on upgrade. So just create both, because initially our project doesn't have any database. That's what here guys. So this on create, so whenever you are going to create new database now, you have to create inside the on create method only. So upgrade is depending upon your project. Your project already having some database now, so you have to integrate, you have to write a code for upgrade method only. So you see here guys, is the old version and new version also. According to your table and database, you can do the changes here, right? So initially my project is very new, so there is no database. That's what I'm creating here. So first I'm creating my database. So how to create that? So I'm writing query for that. So value, here I'm writing the SQL query. Okay. So inside that, create table. So my table name is user. So initially I'm creating user. And what are the fields I want? So there are two fields. Is there ID? This ID data type is integer, and so integer totally 10 integer is allowable for that. And this ID is a primary. That's what I'm giving the primary key this. And second field name is name. So this data type is a varchar. Maximum length allowable is 256. Okay, fine guys. After that, so we have to process this query. So how to do this? db dot execute SQL query. So insert that I am pausing our query. Okay guys, successfully we return code for our create table. So we process also. So after that, so I'm going to create function for insert data. So to create a function, my function name is insert. So insert the insert, I'm pausing the user informations. And initially, so I'm creating, so we have to create two variable only for one for database, another one for content values. So how to do that? So initially value, so value of my db equal to so current files, the returnable writable database. So we are querying all information writable database into the db variable. So another one variable required for content value cv, so content values. So after that, so directly we can assign the values into the respective fields. So content value output. So because inside the content values, the database are connected into the content values. So through the content value object, we passing the information to the fields, right? CV boot. So my field name is ID. The first field column name is ID. And for ID, I am passing the information from user.id views. In same way, we have put another one information. The second column or attribute is name. So user dot name. Okay guys, this ID and name we have to give the same name as so when what you are giving during the table creation. So this field you have to give the same name. Okay, ensure guys the spelling mistake everything ensure from the creation query. In case you are giving any other name for that name, so it will be raised an error during the writing the data. So for that I have to check whether results are working or not. So I am result equal to db dot insert. So this is the table name, users. The table name is user only, and so maybe allow null values. And finally the content value. So now I'm checking whether it's perfectly working or in case working now, no problem. It's not working now. We have to raise the message to user. So how do that? How to check that? In case the result value is equal to -1 means there is nothing happened. That's what whenever nothing happened. In case there is nothing happen means, so you have to raise message to user. makes text context file. So insertion file dot length show. In case there is any problem in inserting data, means it's the toast message will be raised and it's relevant to user. So record is not inserted. Okay, fine guys, we written two functions for handlers. So one function only. So one is the insert function. So whenever I call the handler file, so with this on query, the table will be created as well as the meanwhile the data also inserted into the database. Okay, fine guys. After that, creating both files, user and handler Kotlin files, and go to the main activity. So I have to mention the context is a current activity. So how to do this? So value of content context so context is this the current so all values will be handled by the current platform. This time I'm going to create for set on click listener for insert button dot set on click listener, and insert that first I'm checking whether the input files are input edit text are empty or not. So in case you are giving empty value, you have to remind to user so the field is empty. So name dot text dot toString dot length is greater than 0. So greater than 0 means so there is some value is there. So initially I'm creating username for that. Label is equal to user file, and user file I'm reading the ID text out of toString. So ID is just we mention as the integer. So ID dot desktop toString dot CBA. Here we have to do some type conversion because the integer edit text is a integer data. It's a integer data type. So by default, the Android reading all input from edit text. It's a text is string only. We have to do typecasting here. So that's what I'm giving after the toString dot toInt. So toInt is mentioned as typecasting, right? And another one text box, another one edit text here, name text dot toString. So here we read information both ID and name from the main activity. So initially we read both information ID and name from activity main page and storing into the user. So as of now the user contains two values, ID and name, as in text based 0 and 1. So 0 is for ID and 1 for name, right? So after that I'm calling the database connection. So database connection is contains a DB. So already we created in handler Kotlin. So DB, and just I'm calling the handler Kotlin file and insert the pausing the text values. Okay, fine guys. Now I'm going to insert the data. So insert I'm pausing information, user information. So initially we read ID and name here and storing into the user, and we read the database connection connectivity here. So using both object, we pausing the user information and into the database fields. So once we done the insertion, so user should get the information about whether data inserted or not. So just I'm creating one toast message. This is a get message for confirmation to user. Data inserted. So after that we have to mention the length. So this time I'm going down. Sure. So here data is not inserting now. So simply you can give the message to user. Your data is not inserted or failed. So any information you can give, or there is we mentioned initially if condition there is we check the length only now. So better is enter your data correctly. Okay, fine guys. So successfully we written a code for database connection, as well as initially we done only one task, say insertion operation task. And let me see guys how to work this code. Just I'm running my emulator here. See guys, the results came. So now I'm giving the information. So enter ID. So 001 and so name is Sandesh, and just click on the insert. See guys, here the information is given, data inserted. Okay, just I'm empty the both fields. So now with a empty field, I'm clicking on the insert. See guys, here the information is enter your data correctly. Okay, fine guys, and next video we will see about the remaining operations, view, update, delete. Thank you so much guys.